Hey guys, what up? Welcome or welcome back. So as you can see, I am not in the snake room. I'm actually in the hallway because just before I had to leave today, I got a nice little package and I figured we should talk a little bit about that. So I did get the stuff that I was talking about in my previous video, which was a bunch of stuff for the behemoth in the living room, you know, the big enclosure. So I got, well, 2 boxes like this. This is just substrate, so it's not gonna be very fun at all. I got a few pieces of cork, 2 to be exact. Which will go into the behemoth, and also one of these Arcadia 50-watt floodlight solar basking lights, which I had to open and shake it around a little bit to hear if it was broken or not, and it didn't sound broken, which is nice. But the whole reason why I wanted to film this because of this one. So this will go into the behemoth, I still can't pronounce that word. But yeah, this is the Arcadia Luminize, which is something I've been wanting to try out for a long time now, because I think it's really cool. And I'm not sponsored by Arcadia, although I wish I was. So this Arcadia fanboying is all me. But if you want to, and now I'm gonna talk directly to the people at Arcadia. If you want to retroactively send me promotion money or free stuff, I'm not gonna say no to that. But all jokes aside, although that was not really a joke, this is super cool, and it was so easy to install. Like, you have these little latches on top, and this is where the lights go in, and it's kind of like a watertight seal. So normally you get these, you kind of put them in on one side and on the other side or whatever, but these are made sure to be like waterproof. Like, you plug the lights into this and this plugs into the thing itself, which is really cool and super easy to install, which, to be honest, I'm a simpleton. So the fact that I could figure this out, it's miraculous. I mean, I'm sure normal lights like this is pretty easy to manage, but I'm a little bit scared of technology that I don't understand, and these kind of things belongs to the stuff that I don't really understand, I guess, or at least being a little bit afraid of. But the cool thing about this, so this is the UVB version. It's got 6% UVB. It's this thing, D3 forest type thing, which is awesome and perfect for whatever I'm gonna use it for, which of course you won't find out just yet. But the cool thing about this is 100% app controlled, and that's why I've been so eager to try. And the plan is actually to use these Luminize things to all my enclosures in the future. so I can have like everything like completely app controlled. I think you can have like 50 units, you know, in the app, and 50 different things or units that you control. And like the super cool thing about it is like you can set the parameters various ways. So instead of just having that unnatural like lights off or lights on, this will actually simulate a sunrise and a sunset. And there's a few different parameters that you can fiddle around with. And yeah, if this sounds interesting, which it should, I think you should look it up. But anyway, I'm gonna plug this in, play with the app a little bit, and yeah, I'll get back to you when I figure it out. So I obviously got it turned on, and it's so cool. I can fiddle around with the app. This is the manual mode. So imagine you start up in the morning, and during a few hours turn on, and yeah, it was a little bit flickering, but that was my fault. Yeah, let's try that again. Yeah, so cool. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna try to get this on a cycle and see how that goes. And yeah, I'll let you know if I figure it out. And I mean, it's almost 11:30 at night, so I'm just gonna fiddle around a little bit, and then I'm gonna go to bed. And yeah, enough fun for one night, right? But when I pick this up tomorrow, we're gonna fix up the Chinese cobra in the corner enclosure, because now we got a lot of substrate, man. So, new day, a little bit tired, a little bit misty in the Vogel's enclosure. But being tired, oh, by the way, let's just take a look at this little guy. Yeah, he gave me a good scare yesterday. I was looking for him, and I couldn't find him. You know, I was tearing out everything, but it turns out that he has a little crack in this big tree stump thing. A tiny little crack where he fits perfectly, so that's where he was hanging out. So I had that piece of wood in my hand and just looked into the crevice and, oh, tiny snake. But he didn't seem to be too bothered by it, so. That's right, buddy? And judging from those colors and that slight blue tint of his eyes and the lack of orange in his little dots in the neck, he's going through shed again, which is amazing. I love to see him grow. But yeah, I got a little bit sidetracked. We have this big old bag of substrate, and here we have the empty enclosure. So I'm gonna go grab a knife and something to scoop with. Do I have that? I'll figure something out. And we're gonna fill up that enclosure and figure out that Chinese cobra situation. So stay tuned. Got a knife. So this substrate is really awesome, and I'm gonna have to apologize for the angles at the moment. Oh yeah, this is a great substrate. It's light and fluffy, and it's a mixture of dirt and sand, which you can maybe see in the camera, I don't know. But there's some sand in there. So, yeah, I guess there's no point in showing when I'm shoveling dirt, right? Who wants to see that? Nobody. So I'm gonna fill that up, and probably gonna go wash my hands too, and then we'll do the rest. So yeah, I figured this is a pretty good layer of substrate. And this hook, by the way, which I actually got when I bought the Chinese cobra, I do intend on using this for the puff adders when they get bigger, but it's also a really good substrate rake. Like, snake hooks, man. Multi-purpose tools. Well, yeah, I think that's a good substrate. A couple of inches. Like, it's not the tallest lip up front, but I figure it's gonna be enough to maybe put some plants in here in the future. And yeah, I'm gonna make it all bioactive. I'm gonna figure out some leaf litter and stuff, which I also have to do for this enclosure. I think that would bring it all together way more. But as always on this channel, baby steps. And yeah, speaking of steps, the next step should be to pull out the Chinese cobra, decorate that enclosure and put him in. But the actual next step is coffee. It's my first cup. I'm barely started, and I do not handle cranky spastic cobras without being properly caffeinated, you know? Gotta make sure your reflexes are sharp. By the way, let's talk about the luminize. So I got it all nicely propped up here because, well, electricity. And you know, at the top of this, like, for those of you who hasn't followed the channel, this is the behemoth that I keep talking about. He's super tall enclosure, and yeah, I kind of try to fiddle around with the placement of these cork things. It's a work in progress for sure. But yeah, the roof, it's not secure. I am gonna fix that eventually, but for now, it's a lot easier to deal with this when the top is off. So I secured the latches for that one. I did use the old holes because there was a couple of holes here. And yeah, I just dabbed a little silicone in there to make it really sturdy. But yeah, I kind of think I figured this out. So it's not on 100% right now. So it starts to turn on at 9 in the morning. And it's not on full effect until 12 o'clock. Oh, it actually is on full right now because it is 12 o'clock. So it's gonna run like this for a couple of hours, and then there will be a sunset. I think I have cracked it at least. And speaking of cracked, that heat light, turns out it was broken. But yeah, I'm gonna have to reach out to them and maybe they will send me a new one. because it was pretty well packed, so I think it might have been damaged from the start. But yeah, anyway, some coffee and I'll get back to you. So, coffee is taking effect and I've been misting and doing a bunch of stuff that needs to be done. So this is the only thing that's left, and let's see how that will go. Honestly, just gonna try to get as much stuff out of the way as possible, because he's like a real expert on clinging onto stuff. So the less there is to disturb, the easier it will be to get him out. Look at that, carpet up moss. So since he's quiet, I figure he's there. Yeah, maybe we can leave that to another time. Oh. Where is he? There we go, buddy. Oh, cranky. Yes, I know, buddy. Could I get... There we go. Like I said, he's really good at grabbing a bunch of stuff. But yeah, that went reasonably pain-free, I would say. Although he is not very happy. Hopefully a new crib might be exactly what he needs to cheer up. And I don't think I will keep him on there. This looks a little bit sketchy. So let's put you on a flatter surface like that. Cool. So yeah, I'm just gonna pull everything out of here. Try to put everything in there in an orderly fashion or something. So, yo, calm down, bro. Calm down. Yeah, quite pointless to tell him to calm down. Crazy little dude. But yeah, I'm gonna take care of that. You just sit tight and let me do all the hard work, the boring work, while you like just sit there and just skips to when it's done. So I think I've done what I can with this enclosure, and it turned out a little bit something like this. I did steal this from Pink, the spitting cobra, so it's a bit empty, and I actually gave him this as well. So for that enclosure, we're down on one plant, down to one plant. But yeah, he's got a lot of places to hide. He's got stuff to climb on, and yeah, I think it's gonna be okay. But now I'm left with this gigantic hole here, which doesn't look too good, so I have to think about what I want to do about that. But as I said in my previous video, I do have some ideas on what I want to do with that enclosure, so in time I will make it happen. But yeah, I do have plenty of woody stuff to replace for a lot of these guys, so but yeah, there's not much else to do, so I'm gonna try to set you up somehow while we put him back. See what could be a good angle for you guys. Maybe something like this. And oh, there's the hook. Oh, totally forgot. I need to install the lock. Yeah, that'll work. Once again, I've made a total mess out of this snake room. But yeah, are we ready to put this little dude back where he belongs? Yeah, come here, buddy. Yeah, that's home, buddy. Oh. And that's probably the last time we ever saw him. Yeah, he's gonna feel way more safe in there and probably be a little bit less defensive, you know, since he got a lot of depth to crawl around in, which is good for him, but it's bad for me and it's bad for you because, as I said, we're probably never gonna see him again. I mean, yeah, of course we will, but he was good at hiding before. I'm guessing that this won't be helpful in that matter. But he feels safe, I hope. So, yeah, that's the most important thing. Like, I mean, we do this for them to feel as safe as possible, right? We need to keep them as best as we can. And if he's a snake that likes to hide, just let him hide. And if he's getting more comfortable with having an enclosure like this, that's only good. Like, maybe, like, I hope that since he can feel a bit more safe in there, that he will be more brave, you know, that he will show himself. I don't think so, but I hope so. Yeah. He's happy, I suppose, because he's nowhere to be seen. And in his case, that's good. So we're gonna give him like a few days and see if he shows up more or if he's unchanged. I mean, it probably will take a little bit more than a few days, but I mean, he will stay here for a while, so we'll notice if there's any change in behavior from him. Like, the Chinese cobras are really not known for their sweet nature, so perhaps I'm hoping for too much. But I think with a little time, he will warm up. You know, the spinning cobra, she warmed up. I mean, she's super calm these days. And I mean the spectacle cobra, can't really talk about him too much because he's always been a chill snake. But the spitting cobra wasn't always that sweet. So fingers crossed. And yeah, I think I'll pick this up tomorrow again. I have some stuff to do. I don't even know what time it is. It's 1 o'clock, so it's not as late as I thought, but I still have stuff to do. And tomorrow I have a lot of stuff to do, so yeah, I think I'm gonna round off this part of the video right here. And we'll pick it up tomorrow when I've done a few things. Because it's about time we start, you know, really work on the behemoth. That's right on the other side of this wall. Probably not exactly there, but there. So yeah, I probably won't be able to finish it, but I will be able to start tomorrow, and that's good at least. So stick around and we'll see how that goes. So it is a few days later. It's actually Sunday. I think the last thing I filmed was Wednesday? Thursday? Wednesday, I think. But yeah, I've been dealing with this. Like, it's far from done, but I have installed the lights and the heat. I didn't get that cocoa fiber background up. It didn't want to, you know, play nice. But I have foamed and carved, and, you know, I've put silicone on everything and just pressed on a bunch of substrate. But there's a few spots here and there that I have missed. So yeah, it's obviously not done just yet. And there's also, like, here, I tried to foam. Yeah, I don't even know where it is, but I tried to foam in a little pot, flower pot here. But all I did was to create this mess, which, I mean, it's fine. It's just aesthetically ugly. So I will address that. But, you know, this enclosure has it's been really hard, you know, since it's so big, I can't flip it over, and I can't do this, and I can't do that. So it's been a lot of hard work going into doing this. It's hard to reach stuff and everything. So yeah, I'm not so sure that this enclosure will turn out great, but it will function, and that's the most important thing. But that's pretty much all I've been able to do. I've had a really busy couple of days, so I haven't been able to spend as much time dealing with this as I would have wanted. And the same with the snake room. I actually have to do some maintenance in there, so let's go to the snake room. So in the snake room, feels like it's a whole mess in here. Like, I haven't done anything about that old enclosure, which I've actually, I know I said I was gonna put the saw-scale vipers in here, but I think I'm gonna put the grass snake in there instead and put him in the living room next to the big enclosure. That would allow me to free up some space and all that good stuff. And yeah, as you can see, I got the glass right here. So I need to clean that. I really need to clean that thoroughly. And here you can see a couple of empty little things. Because I did buy a bunch of isopods the other day. You know, just to make things a little bit more bioactive, I did throw some of them into this, which is a little bit hard to see right now, but there's a bunch of them. Hi, buddy. And yeah, and also I did feed most of the snakes in here the other day. But that was just for me. You know, sometimes it's nice to just hang out with the snakes, you know, by myself, just enjoy them. And I mean, you guys see me feed them all the time, so I hope you're all okay with me not bringing you along. Say hi, buddy. Yeah, he seems to be a little bit happier since I redid that enclosure. I've seen him out and about a little bit more. And this guy, like I said, as soon as I put him in there, he would go into hiding. So, I mean, there's actually not a lot to do in here that I can, like, bring you along for the ride. Although, I see that bit of pothos sticking out. It does have a few roots, so I'm thinking, yeah, I'm gonna snip that off a little bit and, you know, propagate it and use that for the behemoth. So I'm gonna go grab some scissors and yeah, we can at least do that. So I actually wanted to do this like the other day, but she was hanging out in the cork tube, so I feel like this is just a little bit too close to there. But now she's back in there, so let's just do it like that, and voila. And you know, while we're at it, we can actually start from this direction. You want a good misty. Yeah, that pothos here is really looking nice. And this fern seems a bit uneven. It grows here, but not here. But as long as it's not dying, I couldn't be happier. And let's not forget about the rattlesnake plant, which, to be honest, doesn't look too good. It's a little bit droopy. Now, let's see if we can actually see her. Oh, she doesn't really care. Oh yeah, let's move on over here and see. He's probably not gonna do anything, just hide, but I do want a little bit more snake content. There hasn't been a lot of snake content in this video so far, just the Chinese cobra. But you know, every now and then, that's gonna be okay. You know, when you have snakes, or I mean reptiles in general, it's not gonna be like awesome, cool shots of them doing really cool stuff. It's mostly gonna be stuff like this, you know? Maintenance, fixing enclosures, and, you know, stuff like that. And yeah, that has to be okay to show every now and then. Like I'm trying to be pretty transparent with you guys, and every now and then keeping a bunch of snakes, especially right after they have eaten, they're not gonna be a lot of fun, because they're just gonna be taking it easy, digesting in peace and quiet, and you'll have a lot of time to do other stuff. Which, I mean, I have no idea what you guys think, but fixing up enclosures and all that stuff, that's like a super fun process to do, and I'm really excited about it. And I'm showing you all that instead of only cool action shots or whatever, because I'm hoping you will be excited about it as well. Although it's hard to deny that cool shots are awesome. So this guy is in shed, so we better give him quite a misting as well. So I'm pretty much done with all the misting and the water changes and all that, all except for the Chinese cobra. So yeah, and that's the last thing I'm gonna do. But I did, however, get some bonus footage of some of the snakes. So if you missed the snakes in this episode, just stay to the end and I'll throw in a few bonus clips. But let's see if Mr. Chinese Cobra wants to come out and play. You all know by now that he's a crazy dude, so he might make an appearance. And of course, oh, there he is. I was gonna say that of course he's gonna act shy today. But yeah, he's back there. I see him. I don't know if you can see him though. Oh. Oh yeah, he's hanging out in the back, being all crazy. So we're not gonna piss him off. Yeah, we're not gonna piss him off. Yeah, I was just hoping he would come out and do his normal crazy behavior. But you know, snakes, well, all animals are unreliable when it comes to what you want them to do. Like it's hard to train snakes to do cool stuff on command. So today was one of those days where he didn't want to come out and play. But even though there's been a little less snake action in this episode, I do hope you enjoyed it anyway. And I do hope that you will like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. And we're gonna pick this up next week. And I'm guessing we might see a bit more snake action then. So stay tuned for that. And also don't forget to check out my brother at West Bay Reptiles as well. And as always, I will drop the details in the description down below. But anyways, take care guys. I love you. Love your support. And I'll see you on the next one.